Yeah. Okay, Duke. There's Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Phil.
How are you?
Good. Hi, T. I'm not seeing Dakota yet. Let me just check on Dakota before we begin, okay?
Okay.
And then if everybody wants to go ahead and mute until we're ready.
Sure.
Okay, it looks like Dakota's with us. We do have quorum. So Mike,
Yes.
whenever you're ready to go, can you?
You see Dakota?
I do see Dakota. He just got on.
Okay. There he is.
I'm here.
All right. All right. I'd like to call the January 14th meeting of the Richmond Parks and Recreation Board to order. First, I'd like to welcome everybody back and welcome Mr. Engel back to our group.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to be here.
Glad to see you.
Thank you.
And we have a new person in the park staff, Teresa Smith. I'll turn this around so everybody can see who she is.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I moved to Richmond 2 years ago, retired from the city of Scottsdale, spent the last 10 years at the Scottsdale Airport working in as administrative assistant at the airport. And then before that, I worked for about 2 years at Westworld, which is the event facility at the city of Scottsdale. Worked there. And before that, I worked in city of Eagle, Idaho for a little while. So
Nice.
Been around.
Great.
yeah. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Glad to have you. Okay, first order of business is elections for new officers. Entertain a motion to for a president.
I'd like to nominate Mike Foley to continue as board president.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, for vice president, thank you. For vice president,
I'd like to nominate Tiana Washington to serve as vice president.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye, opposed? Secretary,
I'll also nominate Catherine Dickman to serve as secretary.
I'll second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, those are our officers for next year. The mission of the Richmond Parks and Recreation Department provides for the positive development and well-being of the Richmond community through the provision of parks, greenways, trails, recreational programming, and facilities. while working in cooperation with other service providers and partners in the community to maximize all available resources. Entertain a motion to approve the park board meetings minutes for the special meeting we had on 12/18. Have you guys seen the minutes?
Yeah,
Okay, entertain a motion to approve those.
I make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Tiana approved and Dakota second. I gotta let Teresa know who's doing the approvals here, so bear with us. Administration report, Denise.
Yes, I'm going to share my screen with you here in just a second. It'll take a little bit. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds here. Hold on. It's taking a little bit more time than I want. There you go. Okay. Took a little bit, but we got it, right?
Hey.
All right. Well, let me see if it's going to let me. Okay. All right. It's going to keep popping up here. See what we can do. All right. I do too want to welcome Bill Engel and Teresa Smith. So we're really glad that you are with us. And I just wanted to make sure to focus in on that on my report. And then I want to introduce you guys to a few interns that we have. Two are actually with us on this call. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Alyssa first. Alyssa is going to be our special events and recreation intern. She's been already starting. She was here on Monday to get acclimated. She'll be doing a lot of virtual work with us. Alyssa, would you like to go ahead and unmute and share your video to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on my phone, so hope.
There you are. You just muted back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Alyssa. I'm a senior at IUPUI studying tourism, events, and sports management. And then I'll be working on things like the weekly newsletter, the Easter event that's coming up, and then I'll be helping out with strategic planning for JUCO. And then I believe I will also have an opportunity to learn more about grant writing.
Yes. Welcome, Alyssa. We're happy to have you. All right. I would love to introduce Amelia. Amelia, can you unmute and say hi for us?
Yes. Hello, I'm Amelia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm working as a farmer's market intern, and I'm very excited to be learning more about how the whole market system works. Thank you all for having me.
Great. Thank you, Amelia. Aiden wasn't able to attend this evening, but Aiden has really been working on our AmeriCorps volunteer request that we've been working on, which is a pretty hefty application. And he comes to us from Earlham College, and we're very thankful for his work on that. So we have him working virtually and very thankful for his help. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the positives in parks. This is a presentation that I'll be actually doing to council for my year-end report. And so I want to make sure that I go over this with the board first and talk to you a little bit about what I declare the top 10 positives in parks from 2020, even in a pandemic. So I want to talk a little bit about parks and recreation in general, because obviously the positives are huge right now for parks and recreation. We're seeing increased usage. We see the uptick in the value that parks and recreation is producing throughout our US, and obviously we've had increased trash and other needs, but we're very excited about people utilizing parks and recreation as a safe recreation alternative to maybe some of those things done indoors. We're happy to fill that role and very excited that they feel that we are a safe haven for them to come out and enjoy parks and recreation in several capacities. I want to talk about the number 9 positive, that was Veterans Park. There was a lot of great things that happened at Veterans Park this year. We had Eagle Scout Nick Rader. He raised over $21,000 to install a monument for the Revolutionary War. We also had the M60 tank arrive and the cannons and mortars through Howe Military Academy, as well as private first class Louis Wiesenhahn Jr. was brought home and a ceremony was conducted. So I have that information. This presentation was provided to you on that agenda link, so you can kind of go from there and search these links if you want more information. I'm going to go to positive 8.5. This is our Star Jeanette facility. If you haven't been able to go down and check out Star Jeanette in the Gorge, this was a huge positive for us. And we talk about the Gorge. We were able to remove about 350 feet of invasive removal around Bicentennial Park in the Gorge frontage. We also had this winter activation plan that was completed right there at Star Jeanette to be able to utilize this facility year round. The winter market received a new home. And we have some information on the ribbon cutting. The ventilation was also brought up to code in the restrooms, which is something that really needed to be done for this project. And we're very happy for that. Go to number 8, play. For the first time in the history of the Parks Department, we are completely compliant for playground safety standards. This is a feat most park and recreation departments cannot or do not accomplish. And we are very thankful that we were able to do that. Medical professionals have also started to prescribe play instead of some medications. I have a kind of a little article there for you to read a little bit more. So we have 6 playgrounds, as you know, 3 of those are brand new, and we're very happy about that. We're working on, of course, what I would like to bring up in number 7.5, which is Star Park. Obviously, this has been a huge accomplishment. We even had interest as far as California for this project. The new retaining wall, the steps, the shelter, the grill, all of that, as well as the development and play benefits. This community is very excited about this playground. We're getting calls about it weekly, and very excited to get that off the ground. We have the fence starting next week on Monday, and then we will help the Lowe's, who's doing the fence, on Tuesday to continue. We've taken on a few trees to be able to accommodate the fence so that it does not fall on the playground or the fence. That was something our team did, and this is very exciting that we raised enough money to be able to do a perimeter fence for this neighborhood. So we're very excited about that. And then if we go to number 7, funding. Challenge Match was a huge success this year. I put the results there for you, but a comparison from 2019, which was our best year, to that we rounded out at 68,000. 2020, we raised 91,000. So we were very excited about that, along with the 100% board participation. Thank you so much. And We also surpassed our goal of raising $50,000 to receive $50,000. And that was just shy of $140,000, and why we were able to do the fence. The winter activation project was a success. We had a goal of $15,000. We surpassed that, and we raised just shy of $48,000. So all in all, if we talk a little bit about, you know, since 2016, we've raised $640,000 monetarily from patronicity and the projects we've done and through this community, and another 165 in kind. So I think rounding that out and showing that success is a huge excitement for the Parks Department. Projects, we've been continuing through this year. We also have that bond that we received in 2019 is almost complete. We have 2 more projects on that, finishing the work on Dogwood Lane, as well as the metal roof project. And of course, the Wood Weekend project that we were able to do. So very successful there. Greenhouse, I have a picture there of our new pole barn. And we obviously received the Governor's Award on Environmental Excellence. The bike path has been really taken care of this year. Trash pickup from Maintenance Division, snow removal and landscaping through the Floral Division. The downtown pots were extremely beautiful. Had a lot of great comments on those, as well as the Christmas decorations in Elstro and downtown. Now 4.5 are the service that we were able to provide from our partners. Different individuals were coming out, walking, jogging, picking up trash during this pandemic. Ivy Tech came out and did a huge service project, as well as Hills Pet Nutrition did 3 park areas this year. 3 Rivers came out, and they're pictured here. And we had additional community park cleanup days. So everybody was serving their parks in a great capacity this year. Number 4, the Richmond's Farmers Market, just paying a huge indication that the SNAP doubling is done wonderful. And we were up from $18,000 to $36,000 and growing in the SNAP doubling. Caleb's done a wonderful job with that, and so have our vendors. The partnerships and vendors have grown, and our online market has been free for 20 vendors for 1 year. The 6 months was the Wayne County Foundation, and also Reed Health came in for another 6 months. So this online market has posed to be a real asset to our community. Obviously, number 3, we're going to go to Highland Lake Golf Course. For the first time in 11 years, Highland achieved 5 digits for each and every month this year. Of course, December, they're inching towards potential, but it was a slower month. We're also already doing great things in January and achieving higher results than normal. Brand new carts, new flags, cups on the greens, new scoreboard, new tee markers and tee signs were purchased by sponsorships. Improvements in the course, new members are flocking, and a new POS system, TSNAP, with the online capabilities and marketing has done really well for us. And number 2, Middle Fork, the boats are now available with more to come, thanks to Reed Community Benefit. And I put a little small article there for you to read when you have time. Number 1.5 is the C&O Depot. If you have not seen that completed project, we're very excited that the roof was completed by the end of last year. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. And then I strategically placed number 1 at our master plan. I think that was a huge accomplishment for this department, thanks to the park board and several community members who had input in this project. So that was the park positives, top 10 park positives. And then I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about all the struggles that are, that came through this year. We were able to concentrate on the positives, and this park team has been working extremely hard under stressful and uncertain conditions, and I'm super proud of them and everything they've done. I also have a few more pictures to share with you. We'll go through these pretty fast. Hometown came in and actually was able to be our fuel sponsor. They did our first full tank down at Star Jeanette, and we're very thankful for them. I also want to highlight our wishing tree, our positivity tree. We had lots of people who hung their wishes on the tree at Elstro this year, And that was exciting, something new and fun that many people in our community took advantage of. We also had the wreaths redone at Veterans, and the downtown wreaths also got a new look. And so that was very fun. Talk a little bit about the elves that were among us this year. They did a little spreading of Christmas cheer all over the community at the Floral Division. And then Elstro North is now complete. You can see that all the trees are in, and that looks really great. That was one of the things that they needed to get accomplished this year, and they did a wonderful job getting that all planted. It's going to look great when it comes full circle there. So we also started the wood carving from the art grant. If you haven't seen it, it's looking great, and some of the detail will be done shortly in the next couple of weeks. So we have got a deer. There's a little fairy house, a snake that will be wrapped around, a woodpecker, and also a squirrel and a raccoon. All the things you'd find here in Glen Miller Park. And then I want to talk a little bit about the membership at the Senior Center, who donated during the challenge match to get brand new backboards. And the park team helped put those up. And you can see out with the old and with the new. And then the Women of Wayne Republican Party, they produced and paid for a new light tree display and a Christmas card at South 10th Street Park. That was exciting. Also want to highlight what's to come. We have the Motor Meltdown, January 23rd through 30th. The ice carvers will be on hand to carve some beautiful artistic ice displays all through downtown on Main Street and the Depot at Elstro. So go down and check that out, as well as Winter Market each Saturday, 10 to 1. Don't forget that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the state and local recognition. The Winter Activation Project was featured in the IHCDA. It actually was moved to the Spring 2021 magazine, but asked to be featured, and that was wonderful. Of course, the Governor's Award, and that was featured in the IPRA magazine, quarterly magazine. And also I will be on Minute with Bruno, the IDEM commissioner, on February 23rd to talk about that award. And then social media, obviously we had a little bit of a Santa sighting. I don't know if you guys have followed that, but we did have Doug Spears, who played the role of Santa for some of our park goers, and that was a very exciting thing. And then we also we were featured in the IPRA photo contest, and the arts grant, obviously we were featured there with the tree carving. The state agency, I just wanted to let you know, I was asked to serve on the IPRA board of directors as their natural resources trail and greenways chair, in which I accepted. This will bring lots of interest to Richmond, and through our 2021 trails, our heritage trail, as well as our connector piece to the Cardinal Greenway. So we'll be focusing on those as well. We're in the midst of talking about goals and accomplishments, and I've sent that goal sheet to the board. If you could fill that out and send that back to me, that would be great. And I'm happy to entertain any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Denise? Okay, thanks Denise, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Looks like you guys have been busy this year, or last year. Okay, administration. Jim, do you have some?
No, just what's in the packet.
Okay, just what's in the pocket. Any particular questions for Jim? Sheila? What? Huh? Okay, any questions on the financials? You guys just got the November financials. They haven't got the December numbers back yet. Still. Yeah, she will email those to everybody as soon as they're available. But everybody's been sick, I guess, down at City Hall, so no problem getting some of those numbers out. Division reports, are there any questions about any of the division reports, or comments or questions?
I have a quick question for Caleb. Oh, sorry, T.
No, go ahead.
Okay, Caleb.
Caleb?
I think he's signing on still.
There he is.
No, you're fine. I'm looking at your report. It's great. I'm looking at page 2. You have a box here that says average percentage sales reported. Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, it's just the percentage of vendors that returned the sales sheet that we passed out to them. So just gives you a better idea of our sample size.
Gotcha. So the numbers above that say vendor sales aren't actually complete sales. It's just
What's reported. Yeah,
okay. Thank you. That
correct.
was-
Yeah. Yeah, that is something that when I'm talking about those total sales numbers, we can't really call it a full representative sample because we don't know why those people didn't turn those sales back in, but it gives us a much better idea of how things go each week.
Do we know, are we typically not getting sales reports back from the daily vendors? Or are there a lot of seasonal vendors that don't return those as well?
It's a mix. You know, a lot of times it's I lost the paper or I forgot about it. You know, it's sometimes, you know, I didn't do so well, but it's anonymous. And sometimes I do get papers back where someone wrote a big fat 0 on it just to emphasize something. And, you know, that's rare, but it does tell me that it's not just one type of vendor that is not turning them back in. So for a survey, anonymous surveys, I'm pretty happy with the sample size that we're getting back. I think it gives us a much clearer picture of things.
Great, thank you.
Tiana, do you have something?
Well, it was along the same lines. I mean, Caleb, we've brought this up multiple times, and I'm as a board member, I'm just not happy with the fact that we have vendors who choose not to basically turn in information that you're requesting. And so I would just, you know, would like to see more participation with that. And maybe at some point, maybe we need to have some consequences, but I would just like to see that be improved.
Yeah, totally. I agree that it would be better to have that more complete data because it helps strengthen the arguments for supporting the farmers market. But in conversations I've had with former professors of mine who do data analysis and things like that, without going to some sort of hard tracking system of, you know, putting names and ID numbers on those reports, the methods we have at this point are just all carrot. So if it was the board's will to do something like that, we could definitely look into some options and present those and talk to the advisory team for the market as well and get their feedback.
I agree with T. I think it'd be at least worth bringing up to the advisory team to see what they think. And I think it can still be anonymous externally without it being anonymous within the park administration so that you can actually hold people accountable. And I'm not opposed to offering more of a carrot if that's a possibility, the way that the advisory group would like to go. But I
Sure.
agree with you. It'd be nice to see those numbers a little higher because it's all about what the farmers market is contributing to the local economy. And the point blank picture is we don't have the full story there. And so we really can't tell our full story, you know, economically until we know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a meeting next Thursday at 4:30. If any of you would like to attend that, I can get you the Zoom link. Just send me an email. And those meetings are always open to anyone. So that would be wonderful as well. But I'll also communicate these questions to them and see if we can't figure out some ways to get those numbers bumped up.
Yeah. Caleb, if you'd like board representation there, I'd be happy to come.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, I'll send you a link and if you're able to make it.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions or comments? Okay, board concerns and comments. Delegation correspondence, old business. New business. Middle Fork dock slip rate reduction approval. Denise, you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Or if you want to pass the computer to Jim, he can probably go ahead and talk through that too. So I'm not the only one talking today.
Bear with us. We'll get locked up in cords if we move it too much.
Okay, well, I'll kind of start and preface this by saying that we are wanting to try to fill our dock slips. And that's one of our goals, to get more people renting dock slips than ever before. We realize that this is a difficult year for some people, and we want to make sure that we can make the opportunity available for everyone who has a boat to come out and reserve a dock slip. Jim and I have been talking a lot about this and trying to figure out incentives for people to get a dock slip. The more, the merrier, right? So what we wanted to do was really give that initiative to like an early bird rate, kind of like what we do with the golf course, but make an early bird rate so that it increases their want and willingness to come about and go ahead and purchase that dock slip. And then another significant value after 3/16, after that kind of early bird rate, if any new person would like to rent a dock slip that's never rented one, in the previous year, we're going to knock $50 off of that. So this is a way to try to fill those dock slips, to start seeing some revenue. We feel certain that once they get out there and they rent these dock slips, that they'll love Middle Fork just as much as everybody else does, and they'll want to come back. So this is an incentive to grab some people and say, hey, here's a benefit for you, try us out. And hopefully we'll see this value, and they'll see this as value, and they'll want to join our effort here and increase the revenue here at Middle Fork. And that's our ultimate goal. Jim, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you summed it up. The goal is to try to get these people to renew, and most of these have been diehards, have bared the blunt of the situations out there at the reservoir. So I thought we'd pass them on a little savings this year.
Do you want to talk about a little bit about what that savings is, the early bird rate?
Basically $75 off of the normal 2021 rate. So a resident rate that would be $390, they would pay $315. The Wayne County resident rate is $430, they would pay $355. Resident senior rate is $330, they would pay $255. The Wayne County senior resident is $370, they would pay $295. And the non-resident rate is $465, they would pay $390. And non-resident seniors, $390, they would pay $315. And if the board approves this, the letters will go out tomorrow to all the returning dock slip renters from 2020.
That's when we have the lottery, so they can bid on their dock slip number.
What else?
And then just to reiterate, any new dock slips would start 3/16 through 4/15 when we open the reservoir. And then after we open the reservoir, it would be regular price.
Yeah, we implemented the paddle boats, and I think it was a big hit in the kayaks. And we are in the process of getting more, the rowboats, and we're in the process of getting more kayaks and more canoes to rent this coming year.
So Jim, how many dock slips were rented in 2020?
There were 16.
And how many dock slips are there?
You can have 60. The most we have ever had out there, and since the years I've been here, was 54.
I entertain a motion to accept the new rates as mentioned for early bird rates up until 2/26. They're $75 off, and new dock slips. Any new dock slips be $50 off till what, 3/16, and then at 4/15 everything is current rates. So entertain a motion to approve those rates.
Make a motion.
Tiana, Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Dakota was second, yeah. Housekeeping resolutions.
These are the resolutions that we do on an annual basis, the first meeting of the year. Resolution 1, 2021 is a resolution authorizing the president that you just elected to sign contracts on behalf of the park board over $5,000. And then we can take that one first, and then I'll talk about the resolution 2-2021 after that.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve resolution 1-2021-A. Authorizing the president of the board to execute contracts on behalf of the park board over $5,000.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dakota and then Tiana. Resolution 2-2021-A, resolution authorizing the park superintendent to execute certain contracts on behalf of the park board under $5,000.
This is a typical housekeeping item. Most of these contracts that I'll sign under $5,000 are maybe a entertainment, someone who's going to be performing a concert. Maybe we're paying them $150, things like that. We don't have to come back to the park board every time to approve that contract for services. So that's what this resolution 2-2021 is in regards to.
Entertain a motion to approve resolution 2-2021-A, authorizing the park superintendent to execute certain contracts on behalf of the park board under $5,000. Entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I believe that's the agenda. The next meeting would be February the 11th, and will, at this point in time, anyway, be a Zoom meeting unless further notified. But entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Just one more quick
Yeah.
thing. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was able to receive the agenda okay and the supplemental materials, and that you like the supplemental materials being on the agenda and that you can't open those items.
Love it. I think
Okay. Good. All right. And then on this particular agenda is the meeting schedule for the entire year. That's also been sent out to media, as well as the 2021 goals. If you could send that to me via email, that would be great, because we do want your input on behalf of the park team goals, as a whole. So thank you guys so much. Happy New Year.